Rock Bottom Coins is the #1 place to get your Madden 21 coins. If you make coins for my videos, sell them to Rock Bottom. If you're buying, use my code GUTBOX for 15% off. Hey, GUTBOX here. So, we have the playoffs on us right now after we watched Philadelphia tank in prime time. Man, that was a giant, screw you over to the Giants, but that's what division rivalries are. Of course, Giants probably should have won more than 6 games is the excuse right here, but let's see it for the playoffs. Chiefs and Packers in the 1 spots. Titans, Ravens, Bills, Colts, Steelers, Browns, football team, Buccaneers, Saints, Bears, Seahawks, Rams. Best of luck to every fan base. Let's see what Madden NFL football believes the playoffs and how that's going to go. All right, so our first up game, we're going with the NFC, and we're going to see Washington versus Tampa Bay. Of course, Washington, who kind of snuck in at the last game versus Tampa Bay, led by Tom Brady and some of the best weapons in the entire NFL. It looks like a close game going into the third as we get a 13-14 barn burner, back and forth, lot of punting. Fans of good defense, they're a fan of this game, although 20-20 ain't that big of a defense of struggle. And, whoa, Tampa Bay got a little comeback there, 26-25, last second. Frustrating Riverboat Ron and the crew in the WFT. So, moving on to another NFC game, we got the Seahawks in the Rams up there in CenturyLink. Of course, ignore all the fans that won't be in the stadium as Madden decided not to change up their fan atmosphere. We did go on old gen Madden because it is a superior Madden product this year. Next gen is just terrible, and I'd rather talk about next gen Madden and play it than watch the Los Angeles Rams run through the Seahawks. Kind of a strange thing. I would have never expected this to happen, for it to be this big of a blowout. What's happening? Why isn't Russ cooking in the game? Crazy. Madden did predict the Rams to absolutely throw down the gauntlet and show the Seahawks the door. Fly out for next season, and I'll see you on the sea. Seahawks, that was terrible. I apologize, but no, you're not getting your money back. Chicago Bears at the Saints in the Superdome. Who do we got here? So New Orleans with the ball early, 3 points. Chicago 7 points. New Orleans 9 points. Oh, we're going back and forth. One and another. Chicago taking the lead. New Orleans unable to respond right there. Chicago extending the lead, and then going into the second half, we got New Orleans in the comeback, 21-12. We got mirroring scores before Chicago takes a little bit of a distance. They are looking super good in the Superdome. Wait a second. They pull it out? What? In an upset we might not be soon to forget. The NFC North crushes the Saints again and their playoff hopes. So there it is. We got the second round of the NFC. Packers and Bears, a rematch of the divisional rivalry, which you just saw this week. Buccaneers versus the Rams. So the Bears backed into the playoffs, but they're moving on to the second round. All right, so AFC side, Buffalo Bills versus the Colts. Buffalo with a strong year led by MVP hopeful Josh Allen. The Colts out to a decent lead. Wow, a 17-3 lead. Allen's not able to get it together. The Colts seem to have their number even into the third quarter, leading by 11. 2-score game. Buffalo drives down, gets it within 1 score. Indianapolis responds with a few points themselves, 22-20. 5 minutes left. It's a 9-point game. Can get the ball back, and no, just come up just short. Frustrating after such a phenomenal year for the Bills. One of the best that we've seen in a long time. Many, many tables will sadly be broken over that one. But let's move on to the Steelers Browns. Upset after upset is seemingly what we're seeing right now at Madden predicting. It is tied up in the Cleveland-Pittsburgh rivalry, the third time they've played this year. Pittsburgh up 17-10 with the half ending, getting the ball back in Cleveland's hand. But no scores in the third. Oh, there. Whoa. Cleveland just pulled ahead. I hate that. I'm a Steelers fan if you didn't know that. This is not good, Ditz. Yeah. Oh, overtime. Go. And the Browns take it. Tomlin is furious, as he should be. You know, they almost won with Mason Rudolph at quarterback this past week, but Madden doesn't think they can do it in the playoffs and hands it over to the Browns. So they're moving on to the next round. Here we got the Ravens and Titans, a matchup of last year's big upset when we saw the Titans beat the Ravens, but we'll see if we can't get a little bit more of a hard-hitting two great running teams, old school. Although Tannehill and Lamar can both chuck it there, get their bread buttered on the ground. Let's see what's going on. It is an offensive game here, 24-24 going into the fourth. 31-24, Titans on the comeback. 2-minute drill. They got the ball, and they score with almost 0 time left on the clock to pull it out. Titans once again dashing the hopes of the Ravens for a second season in a row. What a barn burner there. 38-31 is kind of a crazy score for those two teams, but there it is, the AFC and NFC playoff picture going into the divisional. The first round's over. We're going to see the Chiefs and Packers come around this round. So here we are, Tampa Bay, Los Angeles, Rams, Buccaneers. This is a thing, two quarterbacks that have seen each other in the Super Bowl before. We got the old vet and the wily Goff going at it. Tampa Bay with the early lead, but Rams taking a quick strike, couple back. Back up. The Rams are scoring touchdowns. Tampa Bay is scoring field goals here. This ain't looking good. After a strong start, wow, McVay and the crew decided to go down and take him to the McCleaners. That was terrible. I'm sorry, guys. Arians, I apologize. Is this Tom Brady's final ride, though? I mean, 43-15, an embarrassing score. He's waving it off. Get out of here. I'm done. Screw you, Tampa. I thought this was going to be better. We'll see what his plans are going into next year for Tom Brady. We got the Packers up next, the #1 seed in the NFC with the legendary Aaron Rodgers. Here it is against Chicago, opening up a ton of upsets. We'll see if Green Bay can stymie off another one from this playoff. But Chicago pulling it close again. Green Bay not really doing a whole lot of things. A first half, pretty boring game for the audiences at home here with only 13-10 through the third. And Chicago takes the lead. Green Bay hopefuls are sweating here, 27-20 here in the fourth. Can Chicago bring it back? No, they cannot. Green Bay moves on by a 1-score lead. Crazy. But that's what happens when you fight a rival. When you fight them 3 times in a year, it gets close. So there it is, NFC Championship set. The Rams and the Packers on that end. We still got the AFC side to go. Very hard schedule, I would say, for those Rams that they had to get through there. But they played 2 tough opponents, won both games. So here we are going on to the AFC divisional. Colts out to a big lead early, but that's exactly where Mahomes and company want to be, right? They don't care what you score in them because they can score in about 5 seconds with the speed that they trot out there. So Colts, though, are putting a little bit of breathing room, but Mahomes ain't far behind. That is not a person that you want on your tail, and it's only a 3-point game here in the fourth. The Chiefs have tied up the game. Colts take a 7-point lead. It's tied in the fourth, but the Colts end up with a 2-minute drill. Wow. To come back and beat Mahomes, Reed, Hill, all of them in the playoffs. Mahomes threw for 454, so he really couldn't do much more than that. But they were unable to outscore the Colts there. So quite an upset there. I keep saying that was the craziest upset of the playoff, but we keep getting a new one every single round. So Cleveland, Tennessee up here. Cleveland's out to the 17-0 lead, and it's not looking good for Tennessee at the moment. 24-7. Wow, they really turned it on for the playoffs. They look kind of rough there in this last week, only winning by 2 against backups, but they really did kind of focus down. Baker got his clutch gene active. He unlocked the keys to the stadium, was able to drop the groceries and get through the gate. So, the most unlikely scenario in the AFC, the 6 versus the 7, the only way the Browns can host a game in the playoffs happen, whereas there's 1 versus 6 in the NFC side, so Packers are really the only hope for those top-rated teams. Otherwise, it's just upset central here in the Madden simulation of the playoffs. So, moving on to Green Bay versus the Rams. Green Bay taking an early 7-0 lead, moving in the second quarter. 10-7 here. We'll see what we get by halftime, and it is Green Bay up by 3 going into the third. Tied up. We got ourselves a good game in store for us, or ongoing for us. Green Bay with a 2-score lead now. That's going to be hard to come back. And Rodgers just keeps going down, right? Rodgers, you think you can stop him, but you really got to outscore. He's outscoring much like Mahomes, but Green Bay's secondary and defense ended up putting up a fight in the second half, and it didn't allow them to score. So here we are with the Browns. Look at them. They're a home game. They're having a good time. Colts are here for the upset. Not really an upset with a 6 and 7 seed, is it? But Browns off to the early lead. Indianapolis responds with a field goal. Browns just putting up touchdowns on the board. Indy, you got to get back any way you can. Yup, the high-powered offense. Chubb, Hunt. Too bad they don't have Odell left this year. Injured. Baker and friends take it home. That is kind of crazy. But you know what? Crazier things have happened. I think this is the first time a 6 seeds made the playoff, or it's made the Super Bowl, since the Packers did it in 2010. Before that, the Steelers did it. And, 1 versus 6, David versus Goliath. That's the storyline going into the final game. Can Baker and friends take on the old man? Will Rodgers ride again? Or will Baker, helmet smasher elite, in the rest of the defense, be able to slow down Aaron Rodgers? Because a good pass rush, that's basically the counter to every single great offensive quarterback. Oh, look at, they're dancing, they're fighting, they're flexing, they're saluting, walking down the tunnel, pounding chests. This is just what we play for, right? This is what every kid dreams of when they start up in Pop Warner football. The Super Bowl, the highest echelon of football, the big show, and it's on. Green Bay, Cleveland, 2 old franchises, Midwestern, lunch pail cities, and it is boring. There's the reason they're called the flyover states. 10-7 in the fourth. Half of America's asleep, but Green Bay decides to put the pedal to the metal in the fourth, and Rodgers does activate his clutch factor for the Lombardi Trophy. They're bringing it home, back to Green Bay. Not a bad run, Baker and friends. Nobody expected you to get that far, but Green Bay Packers, Madden simulates them as the champion. Welcome back home to Lambeau. The Lombardi Trophy. Let's see him raise it. The agony of defeat. Oh, that's got to be worse. Would you guys rather lose in the playoffs or in the Super Bowl? I think I'd rather go out in the playoffs than the utter devastation of losing the Super Bowl, as that's just humiliation on America's highest stage. Preston Smith got 2 sacks. That's unrealistic. That guy's terrible. Preston Smith's had a bad year. Every time I watch him, like, that guy's just not trying. Zadarius, I'd be more, I feel like he'd have the better chance at it, but maybe he lucked into a couple of those. There it is, the final celebration. Of course, it's brand new to Madden this year, as everything in franchise is brand new to Madden, isn't it? That's me being sarcastic. This is the same celebration that's been in there since, like, 2012. But, regardless, they're raising it. I think that was a kiss, or was that a blow? I don't know. Are we playing the, what kind of game are we playing? Suck it, blow game? Anyways, whatever, that Lombardi Trophy's getting dirty, just like the game. All right, congrats, Green Bay. Madden thinks you're winning.